Psalm 118 verse 24 says, "This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it." We know this verse and we love this verse. And many of us, I'm sure, have very fond memories of singing this verse in Sunday morning worship. And for as short as it is, this little passage, it is theologically jam-packed, reminding us of the creativity of God and of His gracious generosity toward us. The weight of this passage is amplified even further when we consider the Hebrew conception of day. The 7 days of Genesis 1 read like good poetry. The phrase, "and God, ... alerts hearers and readers alike to the beginning of a new stanza, as it were. And each stanza concludes with the same refrain, "And there was evening and there was morning," the first day. "And there was evening and there was morning," the second day. Notice the rhythm, evening and then morning. The Hebrew day begins at night. When we prepare for sleep, God's day is about to begin. And when we awake to a day that God has been making and working in for the last 7, 8, 9, however many hours. So this Hebrew morning sequence, Eugene Peterson says, conditions us to the rhythms of grace. We go to sleep and God's work begins. As we sleep, He develops His covenant. We wake and are called out to participate in God's creative action. We respond in faith, in work, but always grace is previous. Grace is primary. Our days are participation in the work God has been doing long before you and I have even had our first cup of coffee. And our morning prayers are not meant to enlist God to our agenda, but to prepare us to enter into the land to which God has gone before us. And our work, Peterson continues, settles into the context of God's work. Human effort is honored and respected, not as a thing in itself, but by its integration into the rhythms of grace and blessing. So when we make the imaginative effort to understand the Hebrew day, we recognize that our days are echoes of salvation. The Lord has made this day. We had nothing to do with it. We were asleep when it happened. Yet the Lord has prepared a place for us within this day, a place within which we participate in the work of God, a place where these days of ours that we often assail with accusations of mundanity are swept up into the work of God Himself. That is a sheer grace of God that greets us every new morning. Let us rejoice and be glad in it.